Executive Director for Reading Housing Authority. I thank you for joining us for this momentous occasion as we celebrate the groundbreaking of the Oakbrook Homes Center for Community Services, which includes a neighborhood resource center and a family services complex. On behalf of the families who reside in Oakbrook Homes, we welcome you to our largest public housing community.
You're going to have to get right up against it.
Thank you.
Hold the mic in.
Sorry, how's that? Is that a little bit better? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to start over. My name is Stacy Keppen, and I am the Executive Director for Reading Housing Authority. On behalf of the families who reside in Oakbrook, we welcome you to our largest public housing community, and we are extraordinarily grateful for your interest and your support. As you look around today at these brick buildings that were constructed in 1952 and consider the context of this project, it's important to note that in many ways we look very much the same as we did at our inception 84 years ago. Since day one, we have sought, as resources permit, to ensure that residents of the city of Reading live in decency and safety regardless of their economic means. This is especially meaningful in jurisdictions like ours and in times like this, when our most vulnerable citizens struggle more than ever for something that every one of us understands to be central to all things in our lives, which is a safe place to lay our head at night that we can call our own. While the federal public housing model is based upon three principles: decency, safety, and affordability, we believe that a fourth principle stabilizes that three-legged stool, and that's service enrichment. The housing and services model at RHA is deeply woven into our fabric. From college scholarships to wellness services to job fairs and service coordinators and community gardens and eviction prevention strategies, we truly believe that we have a role in ensuring that RHA residents experience a successful tenancy for as long or as little as they call our neighborhoods their home. In some cases, that tenancy is a lifetime, especially as we are in service to older adults and people with disabilities. And because there are no time limits in public housing, there are indeed families who live here for generations, which leads to safer communities, academic stability for school-aged children, and strong neighbor relationships. We also recognize that we may unintentionally limit opportunities for people who still seek those housing resources, many of whom are in desperate circumstances such as homelessness. And as part of our 2025 strategic plan, we at Reading Housing Authority established objectives that address both principles, as we strive to provide deeper and more meaningful service enrichment to the support to all RHA residents, while simultaneously implementing strategies that encourage residents to actively pursue life beyond public housing. We are so lucky to operate in a county like Berks with a health and human services network that is broad, collaborative, and creative. At our core, we at Reading Housing Authority are landlords, which is the service that we provide. So we rely upon our partners to bring these other services to our doors and to the doors of our residents to support this service enrichment model. This has worked everywhere throughout our communities successfully for 25 years, everywhere except Oakbrook Homes. Today, we embark on a long-sought plan to address this gap in our service enrichment model, to address food insecurity and mitigate conditions of a food desert by creating a space for a grocery store and a food pantry, to address economic barriers to market rate renting and home ownership by providing a place for classwork and support services in work readiness, higher education, GED, and ESL that lead to competitive, self-sustaining employment, to address the number one barrier to that employment in ours, and I'd venture most communities, which is childcare, by creating a space for on-site childcare and early education, to provide a space for our older adults to age happily and independently in their homes by offering socialization, nutrition, and support from a senior neighborhood center. And to offer a phrase coined by an early champion of this project, which is that Oakbrook is an island. We look to address that second greatest barrier to accessing existing services, transportation, by offering shared office space at low to no cost to visiting agencies. As our team prepared for today's event, we had the pleasure of many moments of reflection that led us to such a monumental occasion. Today, we step outside of the box at Reading Housing Authority to endeavor on a project that is more magnificent in cost and complexity than ever before, and we say candidly and proudly, more collaborative than our industry is sometimes known to be. We are deeply and profoundly grateful to those who have supported this undertaking. And with that, it's my pleasure to move forward with remarks from those supporters whose belief in this project and commitment to the residents of Oakbrook Homes has made today possible. Reading Housing Authority was commissioned by the City of Reading in 1939, and it has been our honor and privilege to serve a variety of mayors, administrations, and council bodies throughout the years. I would venture to say that the support of this administration and this council is especially remarkable. For this project, Mayor Eddie Moran endorsed the largest monetary contribution to this project, which was supported by a unanimous vote of City Council membership. With that, I'd like to introduce City of Reading Managing Director William Heim to offer remarks on behalf of Mayor Eddie Moran. Bill?
Thank you, Stacy. I bring greetings from Mayor Eddie Moran, who is an enthusiastic supporter of RHA and this particular project. Always seems to me that the Reading Housing Authority thinks deeply about how they can expand and improve services to the community. They develop excellent plans, which results in cobbling together funding for such projects. And they implement, as you can see by looking around, in a timely manner. So on behalf of Mayor Moran, I would like to congratulate everyone involved in the project, RHA, their partners, and this community for another worthwhile project to improve services. Thank you much.
And on behalf of Reading City Council and Council President Donna Reed, I'll next invite remarks from District 2 Councilwoman Marcia Goodman-Hinnershins.
And congratulations to the Reading Housing Authority for its vision to ensure that the citizens living in Oakbrook housing have access to all services they need, whether it be food, social services, recreation. You've made this an exemplary community. In fact, for myself, concurrently working in social services throughout my tenure as an elected official, I've seen how the needs dovetail and how it's important for city government to be able to support the needs of its citizens and to ensure that people who are disenfranchised have ready access. I remember back in the day, and I'm going to connect this personally, my husband was the manager of the Wise Market when it was located next to Oakbrook. Does anyone remember that at all? I do. Okay. So when that Wise Market chose to move, and by the way, for a short period of time left my husband unemployed, that created the food desert that we have here now. Okay, no community, no neighborhood deserves that. So it's with the vision of addressing the food needs so important. Of course, the social service needs come in conjunction with all of that. And I know with my dialogue with my council members, they all know that it's important that we have a holistic approach to how we address communities. So this is just the beginning of a vision. When we carry this out, we're going to be exemplary, showing people across the nation how Oakbrook really shines and is a place you want to live in the city of Reading. So congratulations again, and we'll be with you throughout the road. Thank you.
We have been actively planning this project for 24 months, including time and resources spent on professional cost estimating and competitive procurement of a multi-prime construction project. While routine to our operation, these are unusual times, and we were fearful of unpredictable cost escalations in a post-pandemic bidding environment. To our great surprise, our bids were highly desirable, which left us that much more incentivized to find a solution to a remaining funding gap, which would finish this project in its entirety, by completing the first and second floors of the Family Services Complex, the future home of our child care center. With the clock ticking towards bid expiration, we appealed to the County of Berks, who determined that our project was congruent with county goals. It is my sincere pleasure today to thank Commissioner Chairman Christian Leinbach, Commissioner Vice Chairman Michael Rivera, and Commissioner Lucine Sahelnick for their support of our Oakbrook residents and for this new relationship. Commissioner Leinbach?
Thank you very much, Stacy. I want to start by saying often projects like this happen not because of some politician or because someone out in the unknown says, this is my project, I want to get it done. It happens when there's someone that passionately believes in it. And at the county level, I'd love to tell you, Stacy, I was the cheerleader. But the reality was and is that Lucine Sahelnick, who unfortunately cannot join us today, I say unfortunately, she and her family are on vacation, which is great for her, but Lucine was the person that first became aware of this project and said, this is something the county needs to take a look at. She worked very closely with Pamela Shupp-Mennett. Pam is there. Lynn Burns, Lucine's executive assistant, wave your hands, is right here as well. And they brought it individually, because we can't get together to discuss these things, to each of us. And Stacy, you were part of that. And we sat down and we looked at this project. Now I have to tell you, everyone that has a project, and I'm sure Manny knows this, the city knows it, everybody's project is special to them. Everybody's project is unique to them. But most of the time when someone comes to the county or an elected official with a unique project, it's important, but it's not really special. It's not, in the truest sense, unique. When I saw this project and had it laid out, I saw it as a transformative project for this community, for our community. And I saw that because of the vision of Commissioner Lucine Sahelnick and her passion. So we're here today, not because of me, but because of a fantastic project that truly is transformative, that we believe in, and because of the leadership of our newest commissioner, Lucine Sahelnick. Lynn, please pass that on to Lucine, and congratulations on the kickoff for an amazing, unique project.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. I want to thank Stacy and her team, the Board of Commissioners here at the Reading Housing Authority, for having a vision, because housing isn't just about providing a place for someone to stay. It's also about providing resources and opportunities for them to be able to expand and to grow. And that is why this project is so important, not only for the community here at Oakbrook, but for the community that surrounds it as well. One of the most important parts that I feel about this project is the Child Care Center, because it is part of the implementation of the Imagine Berks project, which is the county's Economic Development Action Plan. One of the areas that we see is a need for people to be able to grow and to find family-sustaining jobs, and that is what childcare does. There are many people that can't get those jobs because they don't have the childcare. They don't have a place to go where they can leave their kids so they can go to work. And many times childcare is just as expensive as what they make in a week working, so they say, well, why even go to work if I'm going to pay it all in childcare? So this opens doors to people who want to work but can't because of childcare, for people who want to educate themselves to be able to grow in their jobs but they can't because of childcare. So it opens up a world of opportunities for not only the residents here, but also the community that surrounds us, and it's a benefit to our local businesses as well. So Stacy, thank you to you, your team, and your board for the vision of bringing this center here to help this community grow, as well as the community that surrounds it. Thank you very much.
are thrilled today to be able to announce that Reading Housing Authority was selected for a Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program, or RACP grant, from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Those familiar with this program know that that application is no small undertaking and that applications are highly competitive. Our message of gratitude begins first with Jeremy Zaborowski and the Berks Industrial Development Authority, or the Berks IDA, who allowed us to be considered as a project under a current budget line item and to serve as grantee and our project sponsor. We are grateful to Governor Wolf in his consideration of our application and to Governor Shapiro as we move forward with the award. Given our inexperience with this funding source, we genuinely expect that our selection may have been unlikely were it not for our great supporter of Oakbrook Homes, State Representative Manny Guzman, and our local champion for children, State Senator Judy Schwenk. Representative Guzman, may I invite you to the podium?
Thank you, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. You know, it's so awesome to be back here in Oakbrook, a place where I grew up. I actually used to play basketball right up here. And as a kid coming up here, I lived on the south side of Reading, and crossing that bridge, walking across the bridge to come and play basketball on these courts. I always wondered, with these buildings, why does this place look the way that it looks? Why are these buildings there and there's no really apparent use for them? Why is our playground the way that it looks? And it's those questions, right, that drive me now as the state representative, right, because it's those lived experiences, right, that drive me. And when Stacy reached out to me and asked me, hey, Manny, we need help, I said absolutely, because I thought back to that time when I was a young kid coming up here, and I always wondered if I was ever in a position of influence, I wanted to do something about it. Well, Stacy, we're in the process of doing something about it now. And for the people of Oakbrook, I want y'all to understand just how impactful this investment is going to be for your community. Not only will you have affordable childcare, but we'll also start to eliminate the gap of food insecurity here. Now we don't always have to worry about whether or not the food truck is open, right? Right, we don't got to worry about that anymore. Now we're going to have actually somewhere we can actually go and buy family-sustaining groceries for our families, and it's going to be right here in our neighborhood. Another opportunity for you is going to be able to use these facilities for projects and programs like Ana de Caballota here, who I know with the Oakbrook Housing Residents Council. I know that they're going to use these buildings for the good use of the residents here in Oakbrook. These investments from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, from the federal government, from the local government, is just proof positive that when government works together, there are things that we can actually get done. There are big things that we can actually do. So, mi gente, as we celebrate this tremendous day, I want you all to know, and specifically I want the people of Oakbrook to know, that we're not done yet. We're going to continue to come back and invest in this community. We're going to continue to make sure that the folks in this community and all the folks all across the RHA family make sure that they all have the resources that they need to live equitably here in the city of Reading. So, mi gente, let's celebrate today, but tomorrow, let's get back to work. Thank you so much.
It is also our pleasure to note that unbeknownst to us, Representative Guzman pursued a pandemic response grant on our behalf, which will allow us to literally bridge our new child care services with our existing playground, ensuring safe passage for our children of Oakbrook Homes. And I suspect that we all know of the advocacy of Senator Schwenk when it comes to our children. On behalf of Senator Schwenk, I invite remarks from Bill Evans, the Senator's Chief of Staff.
Good afternoon, everyone. Unfortunately, Senator Schwenk cannot be here today, but on behalf of the Senator, I'd like to thank everyone for being here to celebrate this new center. And Senator Schwenk is very proud of the work that she has done to support this project, working alongside Representative Guzman to help secure $1 million in funding to help make this a reality. And this center will provide Oakbrook residents with the services they need and the resources to connect to various other agencies, opportunities that exist within the county and the region. So I'm grateful to be able to join you here today. And before I go, I would like to extend compliments to the Reading Housing Authority and everyone that was involved in this project and making it reality. And I would like to assure you that as we go forward, our office is there to help in any way we can. Thank you.
As we conclude with our highest form of government support, it's important to note that our last remarks come by way of our first endorsement, and we express our overwhelming appreciation for U.S. Representative Chrissy Houlihan. Representative Houlihan agreed that the unmet needs of residents in Oakbrook Homes were important enough to warrant selection under the first award cycle of federal community project funding in many years. And because of her support and her belief in our project, we were positioned to demonstrate the necessary leverage for other funds that placed us where we are today. In Representative Houlihan's absence, I'm delighted to welcome Donnell Shepard, District Deputy Director, to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. Buenas tardes. My name is Donnell Shepard, as Stacy mentioned, and I'm Chrissy's Deputy District Director for our two constituent offices, one in Westchester and the other right here in Reading, in our new location, 201 Penn Street on the second floor. I'm also here with my colleague, Tasha Isaac, who is a senior constituent advocate here in the Reading office. Chrissy, regrettably, is unable to be here for this auspicious event as she is in Washington, D.C. representing us on Capitol Hill. But her advice to me and to all of us who speak on her behalf is to be brief and to be brilliant, and I will plan to do my best. So we, of course, are honored and so happy to be a part of Reading Housing Authority's groundbreaking for the Oakbrook Homes Center for Community Service. During the last 3 years, Congress has provided legislation and an opportunity for us to select projects in the district for, as Stacy mentioned, a community project funding awards. So each year, through a panel of community leaders, both in Berks and Chester County, and a robust and competitive process, our office selected projects for this community project funding award. So in 2022, one of Chrissy's submitted projects was this very project, a project to create Neighborhood Resource Center and Family Service Complex for our community in Reading. As a result, the Oakbrook Homes received a grant of $2 million. As Chrissy often says, we have no shortage of housing needs to address in southeastern Pennsylvania, specifically in Chester and Berks counties, where she represents. But this is a starting point, and one we are happy to pause and celebrate. So thank you, Stacy, and the entire RHA team. Thank you for the elected officials that are gathered here for your hard work in making this happen, and congratulations.
Lastly, we would be remiss if we did not recognize the contributions from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development through the Capital Fund Program, through which our organization does the vast majority of our capital improvement projects and provided us with the ability to match the funding sources that we've identified today. In closing, some words of thanks to critical supporters. First, to our Board of Commissioners, beginning with Chairwoman Lorena Keeley, Vice Chairwoman Myra Maldonado, Commissioners Iniavel Ruiz and Maria Delgado. We are truly blessed to be led by a board who leads by example. To Anna Reyes and the Oakbrook Resident Council, which serves as the united voice of the Oakbrook community, we thank you for your patience and your persistence, and I'd like to invite Anna up to the podium to offer some remarks on behalf of the Oakbrook residents.
Muy buenas tardes a todos. Bienvenidos a todos al señor alcalde Eri Morán, representante estatal Manny Guzmán, y exclusivamente en nombre del Consejo de Residentes de Oakbrook. Quiero agradecerle por la invitación a este evento y agradecerle a la Autoridad de Vivienda Pública de Reading por todo lo que hacen por nuestra comunidad. Hemos logrado el sueño hecho realidad. La comunidad de Oakbrook necesita urgentemente un centro donde tanto los ancianos, los niños y los adultos jóvenes puedan reunirse en un lugar donde se sientan seguros, donde podamos ver que nuestra comunidad puede estar tranquila, y hoy es el sueño que se ha logrado. Gracias por buscar y tocar puertas que se han abierto. Aunque el trabajo ha sido duro, sabemos que todo se ha hecho por el bienestar de nuestra comunidad y ha sido una bendición poder lograr este objetivo. Agradecemos a Dios por su poder santo, nos has ayudado a cumplir todo lo que necesitamos y hoy es el comienzo de un gran proyecto para nuestra comunidad. Muchas gracias a todos a los que de una forma u otra han aportado para este proyecto sea posible. Muchas gracias.
Welcome, everybody. Mr. Mayor, Eddie Murray, State Representative Manny Guzman, and so on. On behalf of Oakbrook Resident Council, I want to thank you for your invitation to this event and thank Reading Housing Authority for all they do for our community. We have achieved the dream come true. The Oakbrook community urgently needed a center where both the elderly, children, and young adults can meet in a place where they feel safe. When we can see that our community can be calm, and today the dream has been achieved. Thank you for support you have given us. Thank you for seeking and knocking on doors, which has been open. Although the work has been hard, we know that everything has been done for the well-being of our community, and it has been a blessing to be able to achieve this goal. We thank God with His holy power. He has helped us to fulfill everything we need, and today is the beginning of a great project for our community. Thank you very much to everyone who is in one way or another has supported this project to make it impossible. Hello and good afternoon, my fellow neighbors, vendors, elected officials, community partners, and sponsors. We thank for all your presence here today. Thank you, Stacy, and the RHA team for the opportunity for Oakbrook Council and the residents of Oakbrook. I want to personally thank Jack for his amazing work he has done for us and with the Oakbrook Council and the residents of Oakbrook, and been listening to our concisely vision and bring them to the front line. Today, I trust that we are so excited and honored about this new beginnings of this chapter of the Oakbrook community. Look at everybody. We are here and showing up, celebrating this new chapter of the groundbreaking ceremony, and proves that we care and excited about Oakbrook Center for our community services. Oakbrook Resident Council are so thankful and grateful for the electric office sponsors and community partners and RHA that helped us behind the scenes to make this happen. Oakbrook community did this, and we thank everybody and those who didn't give up and believed in us and trust the process. And now we have birthed our own first community, Oakbrook Center for Community Services. Please take the time and please support and like our Facebook page for our community. It's called Oakbrook Resident Council. Thank God for the Most High for allowing this bloom into this vision. Let's keep making new chapters and be role models of all housing communities. When we win, everybody wins.
We're excited today to recognize a member of our own, Steve Belinsky, who retired this year from our Board of Commissioners after serving 35 years almost exclusively as board chairman. When we open our doors in 2025, we will do so in recognition of his contributions through what will become the Stephen E. Belinsky Family Services Complex. To Tammy White and the United Way of Berks County and members of the Oakbrook Collective Impact Council, we say thank you for your commitment to the Oakbrook community, especially in the comprehensive collection of data, the results of which were fundamental to our grant-seeking process. To Ted Vidoc, Shord Kirkles, and Hamel Associates Architects for a complex undertaking and design that captures the spirit of our endeavor. To Urig Construction, general contractor on this $8.4 million project, along with our other contractors. We very much look forward to working with you. And a huge thanks goes out to key RHA staff under this project, who I'll ask to please join me at the podium. Dave Tellerico, our Director of Facilities and Capital Improvements, who will serve as project manager. We would not be here today were it not for Dave's talents. John Runkle, our Quality and Compliance Officer, who oversees the day-to-day functions of grant management. John's attention to detail is like no other. Jack Knoxstead, our Resident Services Manager, who executes on our entire resident services portfolio. Jack, your commitment to residents cannot be matched. And lastly, Josh Smith, our Director of Programs. Josh oversees all of our public housing and voucher programs and our affordable rentals, and it is because of Josh and his leadership that our core services operates the way it does. And to our anticipated partners, we can't wait to begin working with you. Modesto Fume and Opportunity House, where the Patton Avenue Learning Center will be modeled after the 2nd Street Learning Center, a Keystone Star Force Center and pre-K counts provider. Michael Toledo and Centro Hispano, currently operating satellite senior centers at our Kennedy Towers and our Glenside and Hensler homes. Jay Worrell and Helping Harvest, also a partner in addressing food instability in all RHA locations and throughout our city, county, and beyond. And Mary Carbo and the Berks Community Health Center, our longtime partner in the operation of BCHC at Oakbrook. And with that, I will turn the mic back over to Lorena Keeley for closing remarks, our board chairwoman.
Thank you, Stacy, and good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the Reading Housing Authority's Board of Commissioners, I want to enthusiastically echo Stacy's recognitions and gratitude to everyone who had a part in bringing this day and will have a part in bringing the Oakbrook Center for Community Services to reality. 3 years ago, in the midst of a worldwide crisis, who among us would have thought we would have been able to gather together today for this celebration? Yet, even then, plans were being developed, work was being accomplished, and concentration, collaboration, and commitment was taking place between our community partners and our local, Commonwealth, and federal legislators and representatives to bring this 20-year vision to life. We are all aware of the continuing impact of the past 3 years on all of our lives, but the reality is that individuals and families who were vulnerable and marginalized prior to the COVID-19 pandemic are even more so now. And this growing vulnerability manifests itself most in their ability to find and maintain quality housing that is safe and affordable. Just here in Oakbrook Homes, to give you a statistic, 32% of the households have an earned income, but that is significantly less than prior to the pandemic. The need for safe, decent, and affordable housing is greater than ever. Our desire at the Reading Housing Authority is to continue to have an ever-increasing impact to help people find that housing and come home. And the Oakbrook Center for Community Services is an integral part of that desire. To just briefly give you a few further statistics, the Reading Housing Authority is currently serving over 6,000 people between their public, Section 8, and affordable rental programs. 76% of those households are of Latino heritage, and 31% of the households have a disability. Here, more specifically in Oakbrook Homes, there are 529 families, with 406 of those households, or 77%, earning 30% or less of the area median income. 478 households, 90%, are female-headed, and the majority of those are single female-headed households. 64% of the households are raising children, of which there are 830 children here in Oakbrook Homes, 214 of which are age 5 or under. And there are 72 adults age 62 and over, and 157 adults with disabilities. Now, those are the statistics, but I want us to leave here today knowing what those statistics truly are. They represent a community, the Oakbrook Homes community, and that community is made up of stories. Each and every one of those stories has a name, and each and every one of those names is a person. And each and every one of those persons has dreams, aspirations, struggles, successes, laughter. They have lives. Lives that they want to live in dignity, respect, community, friendship, safety, affordability, contentment, growth, and love. That is what Oakbrook Homes is. And that is what the Oakbrook Homes Center for Community Services will be doing, having an actual, tangible role and impact in helping to fulfill the mission of the Reading Housing Authority, to provide the foundation for people to find a home of hope and achieve their aspirations, in whatever way that's going to mean for all of those 529 families, from being able to conveniently walk to a grocery store and food pantry to provide for their family, to relaxing and fellowshipping in a senior center, to being able to schedule and meet with agency personnel to access needed services, to inquiring about job development and opportunities, to having a quality child care and early education center that will enable a mother to obtain employment, and a myriad of 1,000 other different scenarios of how this center will enrich this community, and I dare say the entire city of Reading. This is indeed a great day, and it's only the beginning of greater things to come with this center. I am honored and humbled to be a part of it and to serve along with my fellow commissioners, such a stellar organization as the Reading Housing Authority. Thank you, Stacy, Authority staff, and all our honored representatives, partners, and guests. Thank you. So this now concludes the remarks section of our proceedings, and I now would like to invite all our elected officials and their representatives to join Stacy, Dave, and myself in getting a shovel and breaking ground on the Oakbrook Center for Community Services.
Okay, we'll follow you. I'll bring a hard head for the hard hat.
I mean, that one's market's been out here probably for about 50 years.
Oh my goodness.
I underestimated it until I got open.
Yeah, plenty of water.
Oh, I think I had 8 bottles. I'm just gonna lay this in right there.
No worries. Oh, right here.
I will guard it with my life. Okay.
And then go to the switch to the other side. I told them they may need to move something.
You want to find out, Stacy? Age, height, weight, all of the above. To do it. Carlos. Carlos.
They want to be.
Stacy.
Everyone, we're going to do one facing this way, and then we're going to flip around. So everyone that's here has to then move back here.
So we moving back here now?
No, we don't want everyone in that.
Okay.
Someone needs to fill in over here.
Anna.
Ponte aquí, Ana, ponte aquí. Foot in the shovel is good. And then the middle.
We got to make a singular line.
Where do you want us?
Singular line. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Foot on the shovel. Do you want foot on the shovel?
If people want to do it, sure. Okay, the young lady that just came in, no, she needs to go down at the end next to Manny. And then you guys need to come forward. There you go. Is everyone ready?
So.
Everyone look at me. And this gentleman next to me. Who he knows I'm teasing. Okay, do we want to switch around?
We're going to go to the other pile to get that.
Okay, everyone, come to the other side.
Yeah, we're all. So we're going.
Turn around.
You guys got to go up.
They have to go to the other side.
2 buildings, so we want to get a photo on the
And they're going to get all of the photos. We want that building.
Okay.
Trying to get out this soup, man.
And that's you.
Yes, ma'am. Come on in.
And you may have to back up. And then get your arm.
Here.
Mind your way.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
Got to tighten it up a little.
Yeah. Move over a little bit this way. There you go. There you go. A little bit. There you go. Everyone ready? Everyone look at me. And you should be smiling. walking behind you. Alrighty.
Are we going to do some dirt throwing? We're going to do some dirt throwing?
You want to see some dirt in the air?
Yeah, I'd like to see some dirt. Get some dirt thrown.
See the Berks Weekly guy?
Marcia, throw some dirt. Manny,
2, 3.
go ahead, throw some dirt. Muy bien.
You don't need to.
Look, this ain't for me, man. This ain't for me.
Done yet? Done now.
That's why we got tradesmen.
Yay!